I still remember one of my dear friends in London who told me, I didn't grow up religious at all. And he said, you know what? You know what made me religious? Listen to this, magnificent. He says, I came to New York City and I was partying in Manhattan. And one of my friends told me that he's going to the Lubavitcher Rebbe. So I said, okay, I'm not really a rabbi guy. He goes, but you got to come, you got to see. It's amazing. So cool. He says, all right, I'll come. He invites him to go down, and they go down on Shabbat. And the man tells me, I became religious because of that speech. Now, he's not fanatically, quote unquote, religious. No, but he's got Shabbat, he's got kosher, and he's, family, he's dedicated, his children should marry Jewish, etc., etc., etc. What was it? I said, what did he say? And I wanted to hear, what wisdom did the rabbi share that made this guy feel like, you know what, I'm going to change my life? And he says, I couldn't tell you. I said, what do you mean you couldn't tell me? What did he say? You just said he made you religious. He goes, yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday. I said, so what did he say? He says, I can't tell you. I said, why not? He says, because I don't speak Yiddish. I was like, I'm sorry, but you just said that you became connected because of this speech. He says, oh, not because of what he said. He says, I watched this man talking so passionately about what he was talking about. To this day, no idea what he was saying. But I had never seen anybody who had such conviction in his words, who was so animated by joy with what he was communicating. And I knew that he had something that not only I didn't have, but none of my friends had it, and none of my society had it. And I said to myself, whatever that is, I want it. And I have to tell you, when the guy told me the story, I actually couldn't believe it. Because it wasn't with me, it wasn't someone I knew, it was a guy, he was a rabbi speaking Yiddish. I mean, come on. Imagine going to a speech in another language you never heard, and it influences you so much you change your life because of the way the guy's eyes were shining. I couldn't, until actually a young man came to me and said, in England, we were talking at the Shabbat table about, pivotal moments in people's lives. And you know what he said? He said, Rabbi, when I decided to become religious? He says, I walked in your home and I saw your family and your wife and your children and the relationship you had and the way you talked to each other and the way you looked at each other and the fun that you were having. And I said to myself, how do I get what they have? He says, just tell me, what do I need to do to live the life that you have, to have this life? Fascinating. You see, sometimes people get the glimpse that are standing on the other side of this fence, that not only did they have the privilege and the honor and the feeling that they're living the right life, but actually that the right life is also the good one, is also the good life.